Good morning. Things are not going as planned so far. As you can see, or I don't know how dark it is there, you might not be able to see that well. I'm still sit in the good old-fashioned Hamilton bivvy. Haven't been able to get out of the van yet. It is pouring rain, and that's not what's deterring me. Obviously, because of this rain, my plans have changed 3 times in the last 24 hours about where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do, given the limited time that I have. My first location is a spot that I need to do a long walk into. I can't carry a lot just because of my back and the long haul that's in there. So taking a brolly is not practical. So I scrapped that idea, which sucks because I had a really good plan for that spot and I knew I would catch. Saving that for another day, I guess. Plan number 2 was to go to a location that had some pretty static water. Fish have been coming out of there, but I need to keep that spot a little bit less pressure because next weekend, like from a week from, well, I guess 2 days ago, so just a couple of days from now actually, which will be completely different in the timeline of what you'll see. But we have the 6-man challenge, 3-on-3 with improved carp angling, Will Machette, Dave Pendlebury, and Sean Martin. It's going to be a pretty big deal. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on that spot, knowing that people have been fishing it recently. So why am I still in the van? Lightning. The rain is bad. The wind has gotten worse since I've been sitting here at my 3rd choice for my location today. Lightning is nasty. Now, I've been sitting here for just over an hour now. I'm having my coffee. I'm having a relaxing morning. I don't really need to start fishing until it gets light enough out to see everything. I have until about lunchtime, so I'm losing time, yes, but I still have more than I've had lately. I haven't actually been fishing in 3 weeks. And yeah, it's taking its toll on me. So watching this lightning, as I got here, the radio was distorting out. It was striking right close. The thunder is just massive. In the hour that I've been sitting here, the lightning has not gotten further away. The thunder has. So I'm sure the storm is pushing off, but I'm not going to take the risk with the lightning. So for now, I'm just going to sit here. Let's see, what time is it? 6:36 in the morning. Yeah, I got here just after 5:30. So I'm going to sit here for now. I'm going to have my coffee. The sun is, well, what light we're getting from the sun is just coming through. The wind is howling right now, but the thunder, like I said, is getting further away. I'm going to give it a bit more time to watch for the lightning, make sure the lightning has in fact pushed off much further. Hopefully the wind will die down a bit. I have the brolly with me. I'm really not set up to fish the big river completely. I have the rods with me. I have the heavy leads with me. I can make it work. I didn't bring the pod, however. I've just got my little tripod. I can make that work though. I can put the rod on the deck if I have to, but for now, yeah, just to play it safe, I'm going to give it another half hour and just kind of watch where the lightning's going. And we'll see what happens then. Just when I was thinking it was safe to get out and set my gear up, I know it's hard to see, that is a huge skunk. He might look like he's running off, but I guarantee you he'll be back. Well, Yeah, it's been about another 30 minutes since I spoke to you last. The sun hasn't come out. Light levels have gone way up, so it's actually well more than light enough to fish. I just hopped out to take a look at the water. Water looks good. A little bit of color in the edge, which is exactly what I would like. The wind is really, really bad right now. The rain sounds worse than it is. Like, I was only out a few minutes. I did get quite wet, but it's not saturated. Like, I'll dry pretty quickly. I've got my raincoat on anyways. So I'm really debating now, trying to quickly put the brawly up so I can get my gear under it and start fishing. I haven't seen lightning for quite a while, but looking across to the American side of the big river here, I can see some lights, but pretty much everything else is just kind of fogged out, so we're right in the thick of the storm here. The only thing that I have concern here right now is the wind. I just checked the weather report, and they're saying that some of the gusts are as much as 40 to 45 kilometers an hour. Not the worst I've fished in, but it's not something I tend to fish in alone. So I'm going to give it 15 minutes. I've still got a bit of coffee left. 15 minutes, and I'm going to make my decision. Either I'm going to set up the brawly and try and fish this out for at least a couple hours, or I'm going to pack it in and go another week without fishing. I don't know yet. 15 minutes will decide. Well, how about an update? Oh my, what's going on there? Something just hit my line. Okay, sorry, update. It's after 9 o'clock now. So I've been fishing about an hour and a half. Not all that long, seeing as I've been here since 5:30. Luckily for me, probably about 10 minutes after I got my first cast in, so once I was good and soaked, the rain stopped, and it's only kind of trickled here and there since. However, the wind has not let up. There might be a 15 or 20 minute stretch where it just seems calm with a light breeze, and then all of a sudden just this massive gust will come through, and like just this tree bends right down, and the rod starts shaking like mad, the bibby starts shaking. Yeah, it's not really done much to help my chances. I did have one definitive pickup. It was a pretty good slam on the end of the rod, probably about 8 or 10 feet of line come off. It just so happened that I was in the middle of tying a new rig, and I had to put all my stuff down to grab at the rod, and by the time I grabbed it, there was nothing there. So there has been signs of a fish. There's also signs of ridiculous drifting weed. There was that tree that went by earlier when I just got started, a whole other tree. Still had leaves on it, so it's clearly busted off with this wind and fallen in further upriver. That went by about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. It wasn't out that far either, so I don't think it was in the river long. I think probably a couple kilometers up the road. So it's a little scary that, stuff like that's happening while I'm out fishing. But like I said, it's been a few weeks since I've been out, and I really wanted to get out fishing. Honestly, I could have done without doing a video today, because I've got a few videos still in the bank from back in July, because August was not kind to me whatsoever. Okay, there's definitely something nosing around. It's really hard to get a good drop right now with the amount of drifting weed. I haven't fished here since July, so there's some weed pockets that have come up that I wasn't expecting in spots that are normally good firm spots. As far as I know, like, I haven't been baiting this spot. As far as I know, Kevin hasn't either. We've been focusing, well, he's been focusing his attention elsewhere. Did really good yesterday with Jimmy. But I am getting some odd indication right now. Could be catfish maybe. But yeah, I'm pretty much sitting on the only spot where I can get a good drop right now. Frequent recast because of the weed. Put some corn out, maize basically, a few handfuls of 20 mil boilies. I don't have a whole lot of time today. I'm trying my best to make the most out of what time I have, while still trying to stay safe. Obviously the lightning has stopped, rain has let up, thunder is long gone. It's just this wind every now and then sends me a sign that maybe I shouldn't be out. One fish. I want one fish. Then I can pack everything up knowing that I gave it a good try and got a result. Oh yeah. Well, not a huge fish, but I wanted a fish. I stuck with it, and I got a fish. It's not small. I'll take this size fish any day. It's quality. Good, solid, healthy fish. Easy. What a run though. Just absolutely melted line off. Probably the most important thing that I've paid attention to all day is trying to get that drop. I think I mentioned earlier, you know, I keep landing in weeds, soft silt, just trying to find those spots that I normally fish in this swim that are good, solid spots. I've really struggled, really struggled to hit them, but it seems like every time I did hit that good hard donk, that's when I get some kind of whack or indication. And in this case was no different. I did 3 recasts in the span of about 15 minutes because I just couldn't get where I wanted to get. Turned the camera off for a bit. Thought, okay, I'm gonna try again. Did a quick recast, got my donk, literally turned the camera on, and within seconds, just absolutely smashed it. I'm gonna get a couple photos, get this fish back. I'm gonna stick it out a little bit longer. I think I still have a little bit of time left. But yeah, just paying attention to your drop. It really does make a difference, especially in this case. Holy shit. I just turned the camera off to give the battery a break. And it just melted off, and now I can feel him. He's already in the weeds and the drop off. I'm gonna have to climb down here and play this out. to. Fair bit smaller, but much more kind of chestnutty in color. I really like them when they're this color. I love the browns, kind of the, like I said, that chestnutty kind of tones to them. You get the bit of red in the bottom of the tail. Yeah, I was just taking it easy. I knew on that last cast I had a really good drop. You know, I had done a couple recasts, but that last drop was a really good one. I was confident with how it was sitting, but it just, everything went quiet. There was no rises, no bumps. I wasn't getting any false indication. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off, let it have a bit of a break on the battery, and 2 minutes, if that, just absolutely smashed off. The butt of the rod actually jumped up and hit me while I was in my chair because the rod swung around so hard. But yeah, really, really pleased. For such a small fish, it was an incredible battle. He went into the weeds on the, you know, the margin way down there like they all do as they go down river. But then when this one came back up, he stayed out, probably 4 or 5 rod lengths out into the main river. And just, I played him in open water. Really, really strong fish to, you know, come all the way upstream like that. I'm gonna get him back, and I got a little bit of time left, so we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try something different now, having saved my blank. I might try a different hook bait. I don't know. This the ESP double pop-up corn is absolutely smashing it today. You know, to go from pretty low chances to 2 fish on the mat now, I can't complain. Alright, well, starting to get down on time. It's noon. I really should be heading home soon. I did message the wife to see how much more time I had because I forget what her schedule is today. Let me just adjust this so the wind's not going to affect it as much. And she's not answered me yet. So if she hasn't answered me, I'm not late. But I thought, you know what, I'll take a few minutes, I'll quickly go over the rigs that I've used today. And yeah, kind of show you what did the job and what didn't. So first thing this morning when I got here, I started with German rig with a size 2 hook. Typically I try to use a size 2 here because I just find that there's a lot of big fish here and bigger hooks do the job. However, this season I've not had any big fish out of here. You know, I think the biggest one I've had out of here was a low 20 out of this swim this year. But the hook bait of choice was 15 mil pineapple pop-up is what I started with. Absolutely nothing touched that. No indication whatsoever. So with nothing happening, I thought, okay, well I'm gonna take this German rig off and I'm gonna try my other go-to, which is simply a blowback rig. But again, size 2 hook. A little snowman, the pineapple pop-up with a pink pineapple boilie, the pink pineapple pop-up. I can't talk this morning. Again, the big hook, a little split shot. You know, both rigs are pretty much the same length. You know, very simple hook bait. I had a really good smash on this. This is the one that I was tying the rig and took a bit of line and then dropped it. So I was kind of disappointed at that point, but I knew at least that I had fish in my area.
So I fished with this for a little while longer, and then no other indication, nothing else touched it. So I took this off, I went back to the German rig, and that's when I put on the double pop-up corn. This has been my magic bait this season. I have caught way more on the double pop-up corn than I have on pineapple boilies, and that should say a lot, given that that's, you know, pineapple pop-up, pineapple boilies, those are my go-tos. And this buoyant double corn has been catching me like most of my fish this season. It's insane. So I switched to this, and then I had 4 different smashes. But again, no hookups. What I concluded, it's really hard to see, but on the size 2 hooks that I'm using, the hook point is just ever so slightly dinged. So the gravel patch that I'm working so hard to get onto, it's just doing in my hook points of the larger hooks. But I hadn't seen that all morning. Once I did, well then the choice is pretty much obvious. Scale down. So I went with a smaller pop-up corn, a size 4 universal perfection hook. Everything else is exactly the same. Little kicker on over the hook eye, little split shot with some strip coating right there. You know, everything else is exactly the same, and it's all been on a lead clip setup because I really need to drop the lead here. You need the heavy lead to hold it down into the spot with all the drifting weed and the heavy current, but I just got to notice that the battery is about to die. Okay, but you've seen the rigs. Okay, so now that the battery's about to die, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to get this line back in while I start to pack everything else up. But yeah, that's kind of the 3 rigs and the 3 hook baits that I kind of went through this morning to find out what worked. The smaller hook, smaller pop-up corn did the job, got me 2 fish. This wind is just brutal now. So let me change the battery, let me fix a few things, and maybe we have time for one more? We'll see. We'll see what happens.